My name is Richey, and I teach English. I teach English 50, which is a class for students who have trouble with reading and writing and just generally making complete sentences with English. I noticed that when I pass back corrected homework, students just look at it and put it aside. They don't really want to know why they got an answer wrong, or they're not really motivated to learn more. So I thought about what I could do to possibly motivate them. I decided to use the answer key on the overhead projector so that when I pass out homework, the students can check themselves and see what they did wrong. And of course, some students who haven't yet completed their assignments try quickly to write down the answers. But I notice, and I ask them, and they say, oh, I haven't done my homework yet. And I just mention that it's really not fair to the other students, and how are they really going to learn if they don't do it in class, or do it before class? Excuse me. For example, if I have a sentence where they don't really know which word goes in what sentence, then I explain it to them using sign language. And this helps the kids remember and understand what I'm talking about because they can see both the English and the sign. Another example is what I do for reading. I put a paragraph up on the overhead, and I ask the class, what are they trying to say in there, or what does this sentence mean? If they don't understand it, I sign it for them. And we can have a discussion like that. And then they finally understand that's what it means in English. So I've realized that I found that this helps kids not just sit in class and have it go over their heads, but also for them to get a chance to participate and actively learn. A really good example of how this helps is when students are trying to use sentences that begin with when. I notice that my students are very weak with when sentences. They think that when sentences are just going to end in the middle. So I tell them, no, you need more. You need a date, a time, just some aspect of time, and then you need a comma, and then the rest of the sentence. also explained to them that another rule is that you can move when to the middle of a sentence, not have a comma, and then put the date at the end. These are just some simple rules that my students have trouble with. And I use sign to show this. Another part of that rule is that you cannot have when at the beginning of a sentence, and then the date at the end. It just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't work in English. So when I sign it like this, my students can understand, oh, this is how it works and this is how it doesn't. These are the rules in English. So I try to think about different ways to give my students the opportunity to remember the rules and to learn. Another tough subject is writing. It's really, really hard for my students to write. I usually use a computer lab where I have all my students sit around me and I can control the turn taking, or I can just leave the general discussion open. I go around to the different students and I tell them how their sentences could be changed, how it could better fit the English sentence structure. And then when I'm done, I copy those papers and I show them on the overhead again. That way we can discuss what their mistakes were and how we can fix them. That's a new technique that I'm not using as much right now, but I hope to use it more next fall. It'll give students a way, excuse me, oh my goodness. It'll give students a way to learn English in an easier way.